My name is Evangelos Diavolitsis. I am a movement and meditation teacher, and I am a behavioral money coach. We're living in times where people are very headstrong and talking heads. It's important to bring that energy down to the body. So I discovered the 5 rhythms, which became an incredible tool for transformation and physical de-armoring.
What's really interesting that what you said was anchor, like anchoring yourself, because a lot of people out there say that you have to stay with the present because the present is all you have at this time, right? And you can say so many things, but there's no how to. I've never heard somebody use that word to describe a present. So we hear that you're writing a book and it's in the process, and initially you were resisting writing that book.
In reality, the same information from mystics and teachers and wise people has been repeated over and over again. Right. And I thought, well, there's all these amazing systems out there, systems that I've learned, teachers that I've studied with, especially my root teachers. There's a nexus point of 3 lineages or 3 teachings coming through me. The one is Tibetan Buddhist lineage, movement lineage, which is a shamanistic lineage. Other lineages, and this is the one that stumps people a little bit, is an archetypal lineage. It's the place where people get stuck and start to worry and lose touch with reality, is when they go into their survival motif and they start worrying about money. So this is the nexus point.
Awesome.
Money, movement, meditation. How can I train myself to react or respond to my reality with loving kindness, curiosity, and creativity?
Who is this book for?
This book is for anybody that wants to find an alternative way to living from the norm. Anyone who wants to go upstream instead of downstream, increase the capacity for kindness and relationships, and for people who want to integrate the spiritual world with the material world, because I see them as the same, not living a dualistic life.
Stay tuned for the details of this book. When it comes out, you will be the first one to know. Not everyone has the time, and not everyone would want to make time, but everyone, I feel, could benefit to what meditation is and the movement, especially with movement, just even with movement. And again, just staying within and not have to worry about the environment, but at the same time accepting the environment, because it's never going to go away. Right? So there's that integration. Do you have some kind of a starter pack for people?
I do.
Okay, meditation for like starter packs, yeah.
Well, let's just backtrack a bit.
Sure.
When you say people don't have time, my argument would be...
They don't want to make time.
Then what are they making time for?
I don't know. Like work, like everyone's always... There's a joke, and this is really, really interesting. If you want to look busy and get that next promotion, this is actually real. If you want to look busy and get that next promotion, just go back and forth to the photocopying machine with blank pieces of paper and just keep walking. And just pretend that you're busy, and everyone in the building will know that you're the most hardworking. But it's all, I just find that people are, I don't know, let's dissect that. I don't know.
Sure. It's steps, right? And what you're talking about the first step. And the first step is to show up and look at how other people live their lives. Like, because the thing about giving people a little package is that they're not going to be accountable. So the first thing I say to people is find a group of people that you...
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people.
That can push each other, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd use the word push, but motivate and hold each other accountable.
I like that, yeah.
And stick with them for a while, because the ego is a slippery beast, and it's really easy to fall back into our own patterns. So I'll give you an example of why I became a behavioral money coach, is because I noticed when I gave people business plans to succeed that they would sabotage themselves. And so I wanted to know, why do people sabotage themselves? Why do humans do that? It's a peculiar character trait of humans. And so because we know humans will do that because we're a sum total of our positive habits and negative habits, we really need to have a community be with us when we fall into our negative habits. Because when we fall into our negative habits, we don't want to be mindful, we don't want to be generous, we don't want to help others.
Everything, yeah. And the people that have been surrounded and you have accountability to and with, they will remind you, because that's part of the agreement.
Yeah.
That's a great.
So a lot of people I've observed these days are spiritual shopping. Let me check out this group and that teacher and this book and that workshop.
Which is fine.
And absolutely.
But the key word to that is stick to them for a while.
That's right.
And not have to, and that's why when we talk about trying something different, like we talked about in one episode was a red lipstick. Like, try it on for 5 minutes and get out of the house. Go to a mall. Try it in a mall.
That's great.
And see. You said, look at other people's lifestyle, look at other people. Look at other people looking at you with a red lipstick on. Do you get a smile? Do you get a sad face? Or do you get an eyebrow lift? Like, you have to experience all of this before you decide. And 5 minutes may not seem long enough, but it's a short period of time, really. But
so you're saying 5 minutes in different contexts?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, but if you're looking for spiritual calling, you got to spend more than 5 minutes. You got to spend more than, you got to dedicate with the wholeheartedness. And there's 3 COs that I say. It's the confidence, commitment, and courage. You have to try the food that they eat, the ways of sleeping patterns that they have, because all of these activities that may be very subconscious to them, that when you're following some sort of spiritual enlightenment in the future, and that's your goal, or however experience you may want to end up with, these are parts of the whole experience, and not just. And for people that are practicing yoga, it doesn't stop when you're out of the mat, and you roll the mat, and you go back into your car, and it doesn't stop there. So
that's right.
That's curious that you say that.
Continuous. Eventually, we want to get to continuous practice, because continuous practice will lead to continuous awareness, which will lead to continuous clarity, joy, and non-clinging awareness. Clarity, because life's more fun when my mind, my emotions, my body feel clear.
Focus is not clarity.
That's right. And more joy, like laughter. This is fun. Yay! I don't know anything else other than planet Earth. I mean, I can speculate there's something better, but maybe there's actually something worse. I don't know.
Right.
All I know is this. And this is fun. It's like one big playground for humans, right? And I want to know how to utilize that and take advantage of it, not in a manipulative way, but more in an integrative, interdependent way. I want to not cling, non-clinging awareness, which is what meditation is that you watch the phenomenon of life like you're sitting by the side of a river, and instead of jumping in the river because there's a can of Coke, you just go, can of Coke down the river. Wine. Oh, kombucha. And none of them they're not good and bad. It's just being free to make the best decision for yourself in the moment.
Yeah. One thing that I learned was all these practices really is to tend to distance, if not accept that worldly boons are not the one that's making you progress. It's actually it's the human perspective and how they can utilize it and maximize it, right? So that's really interesting. Everyone, it was such a blessing, and it's such an honor to have Evangelos here with us today. Thank you so much for
Thank
spending
you.
the time
Thank
with
you.
me. Oh, my goodness.